tired of Spider-Man either being built like a bodybuilder or skinny as hell in all media. Like, I know that in modern interpretations, he's supposed to be this super gifted genius that has an intellect to rival that of Tony Stark's. But initially, Spider-Man was just supposed to be anyone. I mean, for Christ's sake, that's the whole point of Spider-Verse. So to me, if he's either skinny as hell or built like a double-decker bus, that doesn't really fit into the mold of being anyone. I mean, hell, Peter Parker's favorite food is homemade pancakes! Like, wouldn't it be awesome if after figuring out that he has to wear spandex to be able to do all of the acrobatic shit that he can do as Spider-Man, he puts all of the stuff on and doesn't look like your traditional superhero. He just looks like a guy who put on spandex. But as he does more superheroics, as he swings around the city, as he saves people, as he becomes a hero, he becomes more and more physically fit. Then you would have this great visual story of a kid slowly learning how to be a superhero while visually becoming a superhero. Okay, I just saw something on my For You page. I need to talk about it right now. It can't just be me. There's no way it can just be me. I can't be the only one. In Thor Ragnarok, can anyone else hear the painfully obvious auto-tune that they used on the Hulk? Because it's the only fucking thing I can hear. He sounds like a fucking vocoder. Like T-Pain sucked in one of those lead balloons. Hatsune Miku had a bad fucking day. Nico Nico smash! He doesn't sound like that in the Avengers. He doesn't sound like that in Age of Ultron. He doesn't sound like that in anything else. He just sounds like that in fucking Ragnarok. I haven't seen anyone anywhere ever say anything about it. And it drives me the fuck insane every time I watch the movie. Am I going crazy? Has the fucking sleep deprivation finally gotten to me? Tell me this is not just me. Hold on. Yep, you did ask that. Okay. Yep, you know what? No, it's not okay. What the fuck? If there's one thing that the MCU has done that has pissed me off beyond no end, it has made people think that Thanos is akin to a god. Thanos, without the Infinity Gauntlet, is actually not super powerful. Comic book Thanos, without the Gauntlet, is basically just Frank Miller's Batman hulked out after a really bad shave. And I'm not sure that I have to state this fact, but Galactus eats planets! Galactus has a weapon on his ship that if you get shot with it, congratulations, you didn't exist! Even without all of that, even without any of the tech. You have Galactus and Thanos fight naked in a void. Thanos is fucked. He is a meaty, nihilistic grape to Galactus. Sorry for going off, no hate towards you. So I want to address some things in relation to the Thanos and Galactus video that I made last night. Because people seem to think that I think Thanos is weak. I don't think Thanos is weak. Thanos is a goddamn behemoth of a character that would very much fuck up most of the Marvel Universe. There's a good number of scenes that aren't in Infinity War that I really wish were, that shows how fucking powerful the man is. I'm not mad that people think that Thanos is strong. I'm mad because of the MCU, he's now the fucking baseline. Over the years, he's been made more and more powerful because he's been hyped up for over a decade by the MCU. And that's from where he was before. He was already powerful as fuck. It also needs to be addressed that in the comics, when someone defeats Galactus, it's like if someone beats Vegeta. It's supposed to be godly powerful, so when someone defeats him, it makes that character look even more powerful. Defeating Galactus in the comics is basically the plot armor equivalent of a power move. Alright, that's all. Alright, so, here's the thing. This is another thing that the MCU kind of fucked up about the Infinity Stones. The stones don't hurt to use. There's no actual real, like, physical danger to using them. They're not gonna kill you just by touching one. The danger comes from what you're able to do once you touch it. Because you also don't need to snap to be able to use the gauntlet. If you're holding the reality stone and you think of how you want to change reality, it changes. There's no stipulation on who wields it. You just need to find the fuckers, put them in the gauntlet, then hope to eternity in the living tribunal that you don't think of shit. Because if your mind wanders even for a moment, then wherever it goes, you're going with it. Alright, so I was relaxing and I saw this and this gives me a chance to talk about something. Welcome to, I don't know, Panda's opinions on how superpowers work. So, at least to me, Unless the power is something like invulnerability or healing. Something that's just a natural thing that your body will do without you thinking about it. Super strength would also fall into that category. Unless it's something like that, I consider all superpowers to be conscious things that your body has to do. Like, say, flexing a muscle. Here's an example. Take your arm and then flex your bicep. And now hold it. The longer you hold it, the weaker your arm becomes. It'll start to shake, it'll start to give out until all of a sudden, okay, it's too much. I think powers work like that. So Xavier wouldn't just puppeteer himself around everywhere because he would have to put so much effort into that's all he'd be able to do. Same with like heat vision or turning into metal, shit like that. I don't know, personal opinion, leave me yours over here.
Tell me you're a Marvel fan without telling me you're a Marvel fan.
Okay. Fuck Hank Pym. But no, like fuck Hank Pym. Motherfuckers beat Wasp more times than Raid. The only thing the man's ever done that wasn't unflinchingly evil is make the anti-version of Extends. All of my homies hate Hank. This room is empty. Everyone I know hates Hank Pym. When the best thing you've done as a superhero is give that role to somebody else, you know you're doing something fucking wrong. Only difference between Hank Pym and Otto Octavius is that Otto Octavius has a bowl cut, only made one supervillain, and was actually a good hero for a bit. Y'all remember when man's superpower was just being 10 feet tall and that's the fuck it? Motherfucker, I wear shoes bigger than your superpower. I'd say meet me in the street, but it'd take you a month to get there. So here's the thing about the Infinity Gauntlet. If he had the desire to, a 6-year-old boy could defeat Galactus with the Infinity Gauntlet. With the Infinity Gauntlet, a literal nihilistic grape could defeat Galactus. The Infinity Gauntlet is fucking terrifying. And I think one of the most terrifying things about it that the movies made impossible is that anyone can use it. You can change whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want with the Infinity Gauntlet. Its power level caps out at destroying other universes and destroying itself. To put it into perspective, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet defeated Galactus, and Eternity, and the Living Tribunal, and the One Above All. Thanos became literal fucking god after he had the Infinity Gauntlet. And he was only defeated because he became so fucking cosmic he forgot the Infinity Gauntlet was there. So yeah, short answer, yes. Hey, let's talk about how fucked the concept of Galactus's heralds are. So for those of you who don't know, the Silver Surfer and others like him are heralds for Galactus. Their entire job is to find planets with sufficient enough life force for Galactus to consume, and also to warn the inhabitants of that planet that Galactus is coming. How fucked is that? Like, their whole ass job is to roll up on the planet, find everyone there, and go, "Ayo, y'all's fucked." Like, I can hear some people now telling me, "Oh no, their entire job is to find planets with no life." It's actually merciful that he's telling them that they're coming. To those people, I would like to say, I'm coming to your house right now to destroy it. I'm on my way. There is no way to stop me, there's nothing you could have done to stop me, and you will most likely perish inside. TikTok, I'm not actually doing that. I'm just saying, that's basically what they do, and it's pretty fucked. Okay, I know I posted this video like 3 fucking minutes ago, but I just saw this comment and I need to answer this. This is headcanon, take it with a grain of salt. So you got Cap's shield, right? Traditionally, you got this inner circle, and you got this circle, and this one, and then this one. You know what his fucking shield looks like. My theory is that the pure adamantium is based mostly around this outer edge. In my headcanon, the shield was technically constructed in rings and then melded together after the fact. But then the pure mix of vibranium and adamantium is in these intersections, but it's mostly like 75-25 adamantium to vibranium on this outer edge. That way it allows the shield to bounce off of shit when he wants it to, while still being virtually indestructible and just being able to tank bullets. In my head, that's also why people are able to sharpen the edge of the shield sometimes, so that it can, you know, dome bitches. Now, why bullets ricochet off it most of the time, fuck you, it's comics. I guess I could have said that to start. But yeah, that's Panda's excuse for why the shield works.
Played by Chris Pratt, is now bisexual.
Okay, let's try this again. In my first video, I made the mistake of thinking that bisexual meant you were only attracted to 2 genders. I was incorrect, and I apologize. Bisexual actually means that you were attracted to more than one gender. Pansexual just means you have no preference at all. At least that's the understanding that I got from the comments section. I'm really sorry. However, I still think you should be pan. Because when you're in space, gender is kind of a moot point. Who's to say that the race that you're banging has any gender at all? Like, they're fucking alien beings. There's no guaranteeing that they subscribe to the idea of gender at all. I think that Star-Lord should go the way of Captain Kirk. Just like, does this thing want to fuck me? Do I like it? Dope. At least the vibe that I got off of Star-Lord from the first movie is that he is a space slut. And on top of that, I want to reiterate, I don't think that his sexuality can be classified on Earth. Like, by definition, all of his relationships are interspecies. We don't exactly have a reference point on Earth. And again, personal opinion. Give me yours. Are you gonna go after the Punisher? Because I'm not gonna go after the Punisher. Even if you disagree with what he's doing, dude can, like, one-shot supervillains. I mean, yeah, you kind of have to decide for yourself if he's an anti-hero or a villain. But regardless of that fact, the man's a beast! Punisher will fuck you up. Man's got nothing to lose. He does not care. He told cops to their face that if they use his symbol again, he'll find them. Punisher doesn't care about being arrested. His whole life is one endless suicide mission. There is no, I go to jail and live a happy life after that. He is going to die doing what he's doing. God damn it if he's not gonna take as many of those motherfuckers with him as he can. Yeah, he does. Did. Yeah, let's break this down. So in a recent comic of the Punisher, he was pulled over by 2 cops. Not in a car, he was just walking down the street with a bunch of loaded fucking weapons because he's the Punisher, of course he is. But these cops weren't stopping him to arrest him. No. They were stopping him to take a selfie. Told him that there's a section of the police force that believes in him and what he's doing. Punisher responded, probably not the way that they were fucking expecting. He grabbed the sticker that was on their car, ripped it up in front of their faces, and said this fucking gem. I will say this only once. We are not the same. You took an oath to uphold the law. You helped the people. I gave all that up a long time ago. You don't do what I do. Nobody does. You need a role model? His name is Captain America. And I'm sure he'd be happy to have you. If I find out you're trying to do what I do, I'll come for you next. See, yeah, no, Punisher don't like that shit. Oh yeah, that. So this happened in one of the more recent runs of the Thunderbolts, I think. Ghost Rider was fighting the entire team, which included the Punisher at the time. He grabs Punisher by the collar, pulls him in, and gives him the penance stare. For those of you who don't know, the penance stare is when Ghost Rider stares into your eyes and makes you feel all of the pain and suffering you've ever caused to others. However, he gave the Punisher the penance stare, and it didn't do shit. To which Punisher simply responded, I regret nothing. So, the spirit of vengeance does not work on the Punisher because he feels no regrets for his actions. Come on, girl, I'm trying to make a video. Ghost Rider even tried it again later. Still didn't do shit. Like, he said it hurt a little bit, but boo fucking who? This time he said the reason is because he already feels all the pain and suffering he's brought onto the world, which is still fucking what? So yeah, even God doesn't fuck with the Punisher. Or Spirit of Vengeance, whatever. Alright, finally got some time alone, time to make a video.
It's today, dude.
What's that?
It's tomorrow already.
Fuck you mean it's tomorrow already? Fuck. Okay, apparently I just fucking skipped today. What to do. Got it. Here's some of Panda's miraculously miscellaneous Marvel headcanons. Fuck! The Punisher loves Tootsie Rolls because they're high in calories, cheap as fuck, and he's got a secret sweet tooth that he tells nobody about. The reason that Deadpool's cancer scars look different in every single comic that he's in is because his healing factor and his cancer are at constant war with each other. Meaning that depending on which one is more aggressive at the time, his healing factor or his cancer, the scars will move around, they will heal, they'll reappear, they'll be at different intensities, that sort of thing. There was at least a 2-hour meeting at S.H.I.E.L.D. when they de-thawed Captain America where they had to explain what's socially acceptable now in comparison to the 40s. Reed Richards doesn't give Bruce Banner a costume made of unstable molecules for the Hulk for a very well thought out and scientific reason. It's because he's a douchebag. Everyone's gotten curious and let Rogue touch them once, just to see how it feels. Maybe I'll make a part 2, it's only the 1. This is a part 2 because I don't need sleep, I need these fucking headcanons. Alright, let's see if I can get it right this time. Here is part 2 of Panda's miraculously miscellaneous Marvel headcanons. A healing factor will remember the hairstyle that you had no matter how much damage was done to you. Healing factors are basically a quick save. Like, all these people are just fucking save scumming the universe. And before you put it in the comments, because I know you're just fucking aching to, I know that doesn't make any scientific sense. I know. Bitch, you thought you could burn off my fucking due? Fuck you. I can confirm for a certifiable fact that Deadpool is a terrible artist, if only for the fact that we know that he has immaculate handwriting. You are born, you're gonna make a choice. Are you gonna have good handwriting, or are you gonna be a good artist? You can't have both. It's a scientific impossibility. If you do somehow have both, then I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but you're not real. Thor loves D&D. However, he does know some of the races that are in the monster manual, and he finds their descriptions a little offensive. Mystique sometimes sneaks into the Avengers mansion disguised as different members just to see if she can. The only person she hasn't tried is Captain America, because nobody can be that perfect. What's new in comics today? Oh, I heard that Spider-Man got a new suit recently. I should go check that out. Spider-Man new costume 2021. Search. I'm sure this will be a really fun alternate costume in the next Spider-Man game. They absolutely won't make a story in a few months or possibly a year where this suit gets destroyed and he has to go back to his original red and blues. Of course not. It's those eyes, man. They see into your fucking soul. Why white? That's my one question. Why white? Spider-Man is red and blue and sometimes black. There's no white. Y'all fucked up 2099 with this color palette and decided to just go back and do it to this one too, huh? My question is, if the eyes are circular, why does it still have the spider teardrop shape on the face? Those are supposed to be outlines of his eyes. Are you trying to make him into like Robo Deadpool? Spiderwebs are out. That's 60s shit. It's 2021, baby. Random panels are in. Peter, be honest. You designed your suit after a gaming keyboard, didn't you? Yeah, not a fan. No, you know what? Yeah. I have a question. It's bugging the shit out of me. Can Uatu the Watcher perceive Forget-Me-Not? Like, I know Uatu's currently dead, but like, can the Watchers perceive Forget-Me-Not? Like, we know they can be affected by physical forces a la Original Sin. If you didn't read it, I don't blame you. The Watcher had his eyes scooped out. So does that mean when the Watcher is not immediately watching him, he forgets he exists? Like, he's just watching over the earth and then all of a sudden he looks to the right and realizes, holy shit, there's another person? Because if so, the Watcher race should get the fuck on that. Or whatever species wants to avoid the Watcher's sight for whatever reason needs to get on that shit. Let me know your take. I don't know. Why are Wolverine's claws sharp? No, but I mean, like, why are they shaped like knives? Because anyone who's seen his bone claws know that they're cylinders. They look like cylinders. But after he gets his adamantium, they look like knives. I have a theory about this. So in most interpretations of when Wolverine is getting his skeleton coated with adamantium, the pain of the process causes his claws to pop out as an instinct, as a reflex, as the whole bone coating process is happening. Before it was explained that Wolverine had bone claws, the original explanation for his claws in the comics was that they were just excess adamantium that was injected into his body during the process. So what if both the bone claws and the excess adamantium are true? If they were bones that the scientists couldn't account for, when they coated them with adamantium, they put too much on. And when his claws popped out, the cuts, the slits made from his bones popping out of his hands, shaped the molten metal claws as they were exiting his body, turning them into knives. No, you see, Jack Kirby's too much of a badass for that. You see, when Captain America #1 was released, there was still a very vocal Nazi party in America. And I know another TikToker talked about this, but it's just too cool not to reiterate. A group of Nazis came to Timely Comics. They went up to the front desk and had the receptionist call up to Kirby's office. They more or less told him that they wanted to show Kirby how Captain America would be handled by real Nazis. Jack the King Kirby went, alright, bet. Told the receptionist to keep him there and that he was coming down. Jack Kirby was fully ready to beat the shit out of a group of Nazis on his own. The second they realized that, they pussed out and ran. Let me tell you Jack Kirby's job in World War II. Just in case you don't know, most comic book creators from the Gold and Silver Age were Jewish, and almost all of them fought in World War II, including Jack Kirby. He was a scout. He was a scout that would go into uncleared towns and draw maps. Jack Kirby's a fucking badass. Would y'all like to know how badass Jack Kirby is? I recently made a video just describing some of his life occurrences. There was something about him being a war vet, there was something that happened immediately after the publishing of Captain America #1, basically just describing how much of a badass Jack the King Kirby is. It was so badass, in fact, that TikTok took it down because I had to mention the Empire. Yeah, the Empire from Star Wars. Jack Kirby was so willing to fight the Empire that I had to mention their name a few times. A couple stormtroopers came to the Marvel offices once and threatened to fight Jack Kirby, which he happily obliged to them. They ran away with their helmets between their legs before he even made it down the stairs. Like many other Jewish creators, Jack the King Kirby fought in the Second Galactic War. His job was to scout uncharted and uncleared systems and draw maps by hand. So yeah, there's a reason we call him Jack the King Kirby. So I followed the official Marvel Instagram account because, yeah, of course I do, it's me. But I was just scrolling through and I saw that. You okay, Marvel? You remember what happened last time, right? It feels like seeing a friend relapse. Like, I know they know what they're doing, and I know it'll probably be great, or at the very least decent, but like, those words in that order, they scare me. It's like when you get out of a long-term relationship, you can't hear the name of that person the same ever again. Even if it's just a little bit, every time you hear that name, it's gonna spark some memories. That's this. It's like Marvel said they're going for a walk and then they went and got a bucket of eggshells and just threw it in front of them. I'm gonna walk through this minefield that I laid just to see if I can. Marvel, we're your friends. We love you. Just be careful for our sake, okay? Although I would love it if Miles' clone was also blonde and named something like Aaron Morales or something. Just like Ben Reilly, it's uncle's first name and mother figure's maiden name. Well, that's easy. He would be... He would be, fuck. Comic book Punisher? Ooh. Like, we know that TV Punisher would definitely be red. John Bernthal just fucking barks while he's fighting. That's red. But comic book Punisher, he's a lot more removed from what he's doing. I just can't stop thinking of the time that the Punisher got War Machine's armor and then just went on a fucking rampage. But not like an angry rampage, like a planned rampage. Like, he doesn't go into like angry screaming while he's fighting. He's just terrifyingly still. You know, I'd have to say Yellow Lantern, honestly. Not because he's afraid of anything, but because he inspires immense fear. Red Lanterns are more like berserkers. Like Wolverine would be absolutely a Red Lantern. Which I guess makes sense because Netflix Punisher is a little bit closer to Wolverine's personality than he is the Punisher's personality. So yeah, for the Netflix one, red definitely, but for comic book Punisher, probably yellow. I can't speak to the MCU, but I can speak to Marvel Comics, and their explanation's even fucking funnier. So get this. Marvel Comics exists in Marvel Comics. Stan Lee is a real person in the Marvel Comics universe. But they don't tell fictional stories that they came up with in their mind. They tell historical fiction. Basically, they dramatize real-life events and put them into their comic books. They glean what they can from, like, news reports and in the events that happen straight outside their window, and then they add in all of the personal drama and asides that happen and put those in the comic books. Kind of like how Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales has a Spider-Man comic. A Spider-Man comic that tells Peter's origin exactly how it happened. Only three differences. Peter's name has changed, Peter's hair color has changed, and it's presented in such a fantastical way that no one would believe it actually happened. That's kind of how Marvel Comics works in Marvel Comics. The less documentary and more based on a true story movie. Let's talk about something that I find fucking hilarious about Marvel. So one thing that I and probably a bunch of other people wonder is where the fuck do all these henchmen come from? Like, it seems like anytime a bad guy gets out of prison, all they gotta do is, hey, yo, who got a death wish and need a job? I mean, me, I guess. You, let's go. You never really think about the fact that, like, that's a position. Like, being a henchman is that guy's job. Some people serve burgers, some people deal in stocks. This guy henches. And with it being a job, you might need a certain set of skills. Treat henching as like your trade, like an electrician. So here's the funny part. Marvel does that. There's basically a trade school for henchmen run by Taskmaster. Because the man can basically mimic any hero's fighting style. He's the perfect guy to teach all these people how to fucking deal with these goody two-shoes. What I find hilarious about this whole situation is that all of this implies that there's like a casual job interview to be a henchman. Like, oh shit, Zemo's hiring, gotta get my Taskmaster certificate. No. No, I cannot. Don't get me wrong, it's not to spite you, and it's not for any reason that I can control. It's that we don't fucking know. Yes, I know my lips are orange, fuck off and let me enjoy my soda. This, right here, is the only frame it is shown on. That right there, that's Uatu the Watcher. He knows everything. We We the readers did not see the fight go down. Buduwatu says, and I quote, "With my cosmic senses, I can confirm that this is in fact the one true Thanos, and not a robot, a clone, or a simulation." And that is all we know. No other information has been given on this, but Squirrel Girl is a goddamn beast. She made legitimate friends with Galactus. He even gave her like a gift and everything. Squirrel Girl and Wolverine were a thing for like a while. Again, we didn't see it, but by the looks of things, things did not end amicably. Never, ever make the mistake of underestimating Squirrel Girl. There's a reason that her subtitle is The Unbeatable. Let's talk Bucky Barnes. But thanks to the wonders of Disney, when I say James Buchanan Barnes, you probably think of this 20-something beautiful bastard. No. When I say James Buchanan Barnes, I'm talking about the child that is conspicuously not Robin. Marvel really saw DC in the 40s and went, no, ours is different, he has pants. He appeared at the same time as Captain America. There's Cap, and way down there is Bucky. Robin almost gets a whole goddamn cover to himself. And Bucky barely gets more space than US Munitions Works in the background. But here's the thing. You should be fucking terrified of Bucky Barnes. Because he's not a child sidekick. Bucky is a US registered child assassin. You see, Captain America back in the 40s? Yeah, he didn't like killing very much. Even members of the Twisted Windmill Party. He didn't really like them, but he still didn't kill them. But Bucky did. His job was to silently go in after Captain America had punched his way through battalions and silently disappear anyone left alive. And no one ever found out until the whole Winter Soldier thing. You see, that's the really cool thing. It's actually the other way around. Even in the comics, Captain America was basically propaganda. For all the world knew, America had the one true super soldier. Just like in the MCU, in-universe, in Marvel Comics, Captain America was a celebrity. And yeah, in Bucky's origin, he was the mascot of one particular camp because his dad died there. But as soon as he found out who Captain America was and joined up with him, they were a package deal. They were celebrities. Even after they officially died in World War II, the US government kept hiring replacements. People to, for lack of a better term, act as Captain America and Bucky during, say, the Cold War. The names of Captain America and Bucky were the parts that were celebrities. Bucky Barnes was a kid who was trained since he was 15 years old by British SAS to kill. He is an incredibly well-trained child soldier. So the government gave Bucky targets to go and take out because no one would suspect that he would be doing it. Because everyone would think he's just a mascot. Oh, you doubt my abilities? Let's do this. So in practice, Original Sin was really just a way for Marvel to retcon in a bunch of shit that they didn't want to really explain away any other way. Here's how. The Watcher appears dead in New York with a bullet in his head and no fucking eyes. Everyone is very, ew, what the fuck is this about it? Two fucking nobody villains that no one's ever heard of named King Midas and the Orb show up and they have one of Watcher's eyes. Apparently them bitches act like bombs so they can explode. And when they do explode, they reveal secrets that only the Watcher would know. Such as, Tony Stark apparently rigged the Gamma Bomb that turned Hulk into the Hulk. The spider that bit Spider-Man apparently gets around because it bit somebody else. Thor's got a sister. That sort of shit. Flash forward a bit, we learned that the white Nick Fury that we've been seeing since the 60s hasn't actually been Nick Fury. You see, Nick Fury's the man on the wall. He's the person in between Earth and every other alien threat. Any threat the superheroes have had to fight is just the shit that got past him. And any Nick Fury we've seen since then has just been a cyborg. Yeah, well, it turns out that he killed the Watcher. Kind of. You know what? I'll explain in part 2. Here's part 2. You know what to do if you're not supposed to be here. So how did Nick Fury kind of kill the Watcher? Well, Watcher let the Orb and King Midas take his eye, and then didn't tell Fury where they went. Even when Fury had a fucking gun to his head. His explanation seemed to be that because Fury was the man on the wall, he's caused so much death and destruction in the universe that he didn't want it to cause any more, and then he raised his hands to Fury. So yeah, that didn't really make any sense, but Fury kills the Watcher. And in a fight with the Avengers to take Fury to justice, he reveals that he knows all of Iron Man's lockdown codes, as well as a single phrase that makes Thor unworthy. Before you even ask, the phrase was Gore was right. A character named Gore the God Butcher in a previous Thor story said that the gods were useless because the gods are too arrogant. Nick Fury told Thor that from the perspective of the Watchers, who are the most objective opinion of all, Gore was right, which caused so much self-doubt that Thor ended up becoming unworthy. Anyways, end of the story, the second eye goes boom, because remember they're bombs, and unbeknownst to everybody, white Nick Fury becomes the new Watcher. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. You see, here's the thing. When mutants first came out, Marvel just kind of used them as an excuse for superpowers. But the older the IP got, the more writers explored the fact that mutants could be anything. And unlike the Inhumans, people treat mutants inherently with fear. So it's almost like the writers and artists at Marvel can go, how fucked can we make this character's life?
Here's some examples. Allow me to introduce you to Forearm. His mutant ability is that he has 4 arms. Let me introduce you to Zeitgeist. He's probably the only character on this list that's been in a movie. Zeitgeist was in Deadpool 2, and yes, his only power is super acidic vomit. This is Jin Genie. Jin Genie can control seismic activity. Only thing is that the power level of that mutation is directly equivalent to the alcohol content in her blood. She's gotta get fucked up to cause earthquakes. You can see where the problems would arise. This is Beak. He just kinda looks like that. I feel so bad for him, I just wanna give him a hug.